Hi guys, welcome back to the Creatives Podcast.
Welcome.
I'm Kendra.
I'm Gabby.
And we have a guest today.
We do.
Introduce yourself.
Yes.
Hello, my name's Christian.
Christian Ricketts, everybody.
Yes.
Kansas City fitness trainer, gym owner, all the things.
Yeah.
He's very nonchalant, so I had to come in with the punch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I've known you, Christian, for like a year, right?
It's been about a year.
It's been a minute. I've never come to a workout personally.
Right.
Because I'm terrified. But today we're breaking all the boundaries down because we're talking about, let me get my notes here, how you can optimize your physical health. Yep. So I'm super excited because after this podcast, we're going to have more of a fitness, like actual training,
right.
Which technically we've already recorded. Yep. Kendra left me hanging, y'all.
No, okay, don't even come for me like that. I did not.
She did say don't come for me, but I just had to put this in there.
Right.
So we were doing...
Not.
I'm just going to a little snippet and then we're going to jump into this,
see.
okay? Because I think people really want to know how to optimize your physical health and like what that looks like, especially from a creative perspective.
Yeah.
When all we do is kind of like creative stuff. So like being creative with your workouts can feel like a burnout. You know what I mean? Like I don't have the capacity. But let's talk about this workout that we did.
Oh my gosh.
Or we didn't do. I did.
Whoa.
I was doing so Christian brought upper body, lower body, and then middle body workout. Like exercises, you'd call them, right?
Right. Exactly.
And your camera's over here, Christian. So if I'm looking that way, okay.
I know. No, I just saw you.
Oh, and I just
Kendra's way too. On one of our first podcasts, Kendra turned around to look at my camera, and I was like, "Guys, this is not how it works." But anyways, back to this workout. I got to finish this thought. So we did the upper body, I think, together, right?
Yes, we did the warm up.
I think that was about it.
And then thank you.
We did we did the warm up, and then we did I did one of the workouts that you didn't do. So give me credit for that. I did the push-ups.
She did push-ups too.
On the wall, though.
No, but you only did like 5, maybe.
Because
I looked and I was like, wait, I'm still going. And then by that,
I was tired. So it was supposed to be a demonstration, not a workout, which Christian did not follow. It's fine. But I will say, she left me hanging. But you guys will have to watch that next week. All right.
Listen,
it's a really good workout tutorial she hyped y'all up in the podcast.
I hyped you up.
And me. I was feeling the burn, but I don't know if I can help the burn.
And I said, burn no more.
It's important.
Like,
anyways,
gotta stop.
we're friends, so we can go on forever. All right, okay. So let's see. We already said welcome to the podcast. Christian, what's your story?
I don't know why.
We're so goofy, man. I'm sorry.
Right.
But I do want to know your story because I really don't know. Like I've seen pictures of you.
Yeah.
On like TikTok, right? And like this transformation that happened, but like I have no idea where you started with that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, all my life normally I've always been pretty fit. You know, like I've always been in some type of sport, something like whether it was just basketball or football for just a tad bit, and then track.
Okay.
So went to track, ran at high school and in college and things like that. So I've always was around.
Wait, back up a second. You just dropped a bunch of like you know how you just drop all your accolades and just keep it moving? Like, just like me. I opened for so and it was great. And then, okay, you play football. What position?
No, again, that literally was only just like a little bit. Like that was only.
You were on the practice squad. Okay. So you did track. What did you run?
I was like Pop Warner was like the highest I went.
Okay, that's fine.
Football.
What was your position though?
Yeah, like what were you playing in Pop Warner?
You know, I think I was a corner.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I remember, the only thing I really remember was the team was called the Bulldogs. We made it all the way to the championship game.
Okay.
And I ended up getting
That's not a little bit, my friend.
I ended up getting like an interception.
Wow.
In that game. And then like I ran it all the way back to like I want to say it was probably like the 50. I think I caught it like the 10 and ran all the way back to the 50 and then like got rocked like out to the sideline because I was running down the sideline.
Like somebody just came
out of nowhere and just bam.
It seems to happen that way.
Yeah, I was in pain, but I was running back to my bench like, yeah, I got it.
You have to.
Like,
You have to fight.
Right.
It was a good moment.
Didn't play football again after that, but
really, like, were you just too hard or like?
No, I mean it was more so like my mom. At that point, because
yeah.
once we got to high school, she was like, "No, you're not playing."
It's not
She was
happening.
like, "You're gonna do like basketball and track. Like
Yeah.
you can do those, but No.
Wow.
Yeah, my mom was like that too.
Were you
from my little brother.
disappointed? Did you really like football that much, or was
Not
it just
really.
like
Basketball is always my first sport, so I
Okay.
really didn't care.
Okay, wait, and then track, and then we can continue your story.
Right.
Yeah, what'd you do in track?
Oh, I ran the 400 and 800.
Ooh, those are races I'd never want to run. Have you ever ran races that long?
Oh yeah, I did the 400.
The 400 technically isn't a long race, but it's long to me.
It's a long sprint.
You know what I mean? It's a long sprint.
Right.
You gotta
And
sprint.
the moment I found out it wasn't like a, like a, what do you call it? Like an 800
Right.
or like, what is
I
it
did
called?
the
Cross
800
country.
too,
It wasn't a cross
Oh,
country
yeah,
run.
cross country too.
I was like,
Yeah.
y'all have me over here sprinting a full, it's a no for me. I'm sorry. The farthest you're going to get me to run is
short
200.
distance, right? So you did
I ran
100.
hurdles. Yeah.
Oh yeah, hurdles and then the 100, right?
Yeah, the 100 and the 200.
Yeah,
That's all they
okay.
really have.
Yeah.
Well, they do have 400 hurdles. The no for me.
Yeah,
Right.
I did the 300-meter hurdles, and that was
Oh, they do have 300.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the 400
In high
that's in,
school.
that's in college.
yeah.
Oof, it's a no for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you think the 400? Whoo! But with hurt,
It's a no for me. If y'all did
That is
track,
the race
we're
of
all
champions.
athletes and creatives. Isn't that crazy? Like,
Yes.
nice little combination because that's not
Yeah.
always true. My older brother ran
No, it's
track in
not.
college.
It's not.
It's not. It's really uncommon, actually. I would
Really?
say. I don't meet a lot of creatives that are like proficient or prolific, and they are like a disciplined athlete.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's not a bunch of them.
Yeah.
didn't
It's
realize.
Yeah,
I
actually,
guess-
that's why I quit basketball in high school.
Really?
Random aside, my coach pulled me in a room. I kind of feel like there was a lot of politics going on, but he asked me if music was my first love. And I was like, I'm 16. Like, I don't know what my first, I'm trying to, you know what I mean? Make sure I eat my pizza at lunch.
Right.
Like, I'm
That's
not even
funny.
tripping off this. And he was like, well, if it is, like, I think we need to let you go. And so I was just like, it is what it is.
He
So
said, wait, if it is or isn't, he has to let
if
you
it if music was my first love, he had to let me go off the team. I was the only person that got cut off the
Okay.
varsity team.
That
My
yeah, that's
senior
how
year,
I would have.
I was like,
Just
just
because of
also
that?
the only black person on the team.
Not
So
a
you
good
had me
look.
thinking like, what is happening right now? I'm confused. Like, I played with these girls all my life. You're a new coach. Anyways, we're not gonna talk about that. The things that make you strong in life.
Right.
That's crazy.
Christian, back to you. So you
Okay.
played all these sports, and then what's funny? Sorry, I just had to take it back in because I have these
Right.
moments.
No,
You trigger
I
me. I go through
felt
trauma,
it.
and then I'm back.
felt
So okay, tell me about your story.
Right. Okay. So, pretty much, I guess me prefacing like saying that in the beginning was because I've always been around it in sports
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I've always like been around it because of a reason, like because of like I'm staying in shape to compete.
Right? Yeah,
Right, things like
you
that.
had to.
So, right.
Yeah.
So I always had to. So then the moment when, school is done and I'm out of college and things like that, then that's kind of where things really start to get a little dicey. And I'm just like, well,
100%.
I still know what to do,
Yeah.
but like I didn't really have a motive, like a
reason.
reason to really just do it.
Yeah.
Like no one was telling me like, yeah, like we got practice today, right? So it's just more like now it's like, oh shoot, like I just got to go on my own at
Yeah.
this point. And at that point, kind of like would like lose motivation to really work out consistently all the time. Kind of like if you're just doing it by yourself, it can be kind of like pretty
Oh
boring.
gosh, yeah.
So
He is speaking to my soul today. I'm like, this is how I feel. I feel seen.
yeah, so I mean like so I mean with that being said, like end up like pretty much like kind of gaining a lot of weight. I mean for me I would say it's probably like 20 to 25 pounds.
Okay.
That's a lot for me.
That's a lot for an athlete.
Yeah,
Or
that's
just a lot
definitely
for-
a lot for me.
It's
yeah,
really a lot for anybody, to be honest.
But I understand as an athlete, we think like that's just, I don't know, when you're considered to be in shape, most of your life and you don't really have that issue, that's a lot. Like
I just think
know
about
for
like
me-
running, like, like take a medicine ball. Like
Right.
some of those medicine balls that you lift in the gym are like 10 pounds. Like some of the ones we're lifting in the next episode. Like, I can't imagine having 2 or 3 of those and running a race. Like,
Yeah.
and I feel,
Right.
I know
So
what
that's
you
a lot.
mean.
Right.
I
That's
get you.
that's hard. Yeah. You go from like not having that to having it. Yeah.
Right. So, so then at that point, I went ahead and like I got a trainer myself personally.
Okay.
Like, again, I already knew what like things I should do. Like so, it wasn't because of lack of knowledge. It was just more so lack of motivation. Like,
Or
so
accountability, would you say?
Right. So and like that's my whole reason for hiring someone else was because like one, I don't like losing money. I don't like wasting money either. So if I'm going to invest into something, like I'm going to make sure I'm going to show up.
Yep.
I'm going to go.
Yeah.
So, and that's really all I needed was just a motivation, a reason to go.
Yeah.
So now me investing into it was my reason, like is the reason I created for myself. So then, you know, that ended up working, and that was going well for some time, and then end up stopped doing that with him, and then eventually it kind of got to another place where then ended up going like a cruise, and then like I don't know what,
like on a boat.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I was like, what kind of cruise?
Right. So then
Okay.
now I'm on this cruise, and like for some reason, like I don't know what happened, but the food on the cruise, or I don't know
how they get you.
But I came back from that, and like I was like big like that's when the weight really kicked in. I was just like, how I got
like bigger than the 20 pound?
No, I'm saying that's when that happened.
Oh,
was that?
Gotcha.
Was
You
that?
started
Okay.
working
That's
out
when that
before
happened.
the cruise, or no, not yet.
It would be every now and again.
Oh,
Again,
okay,
that's
so it
when
wasn't
it wasn't the
consistent.
consistent. Yeah, that's when the consistency kind of died down.
Yeah.
So then at that point, once I got back though, and like me myself, like there's no way I can let myself get to a certain point. Like once I feel a certain way, I'm going to just start doing something for a while, for a long time, until like I feel good.
Yeah.
But so then at that point, once I got there, I was like, okay, well, yeah, this is out of control. Like
Right.
again, other people will look at me and be like, dude, like you're not fat, like you're not big or nothing. I'm just like, no, like I am. Like
You can feel it.
Right,
Yeah,
I
you
feel
know.
it. Like no,
You know your
like
body.
there's certain things I can't even do now without like getting a little winded. I'm just like, like I don't like that. So
I laugh because I can just relate so much. Speaking my story.
So then I end up like joining this challenge.
Okay.
And it was this little 6-week like fitness challenge at some other gym. And then their thing was if you lose 20 pounds, or it was a certain percentage of body fat. If you like lose one or the other, then you get your money back.
Oh, hello.
So again,
That's awesome.
so now you're incentivizing me to get in shape by me being able to get my money back. Like, this is easy. Like this is about to be a piece of cake.
That's the money.
Right. I'm like, I didn't even care how much it cost because I knew I was gonna get it back.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is about to be a breeze. I was like, just let me know, like, how often can I come? Like, what do I need to do? Because like, I'm gonna make sure by the end of the 6 weeks, I'm like, I either hit the 20 or I lost the body fat percentage, and it just so happened that I ended up I hit both. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, but
They give you double the money?
no,
I'm just kidding.
I wish, right?
So wait, they thought as a business, right, you would have to think that people would not lose the weight
Some people don't.
Right.
A lot of people don't.
to make the money.
Because again, a lot of people aren't that consistent also. So like you can still be like, tell them like, I'm gonna give you access to come to the gym for 5 days out the week. Like we're gonna have a class 5 days out the week, and like a lot of people just still wouldn't come.
That's so
Right? It's
wild. What a bad business model. Think about it though. Like you're like, I'm making money off of people who don't lose weight.
Right. Well, you're banking kind of.
You're
some of
betting.
I mean, look at the.
Sorry, if you know these people, I hope you're not watching.
Right. But I mean, like, that's kind of like some of the fitness industry, and then also like just look at like food wise, and like how people market to us. They are kind of banking on those people that aren't going to continue or complete things. You know what I mean?
This is so deep.
Yeah.
This is how America is built. This is a
it
whole
really-
conversation.
I mean,
Really
I
is,
actually like.
yeah.
I've done that like kind of same model like within my own business myself once before. Like I had a little boot camp before.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing to where, because now I'm like, you're looking at it in more of a sense of it's a way of trying to incentivize people to come.
And it probably works
Like,
really
that's
well.
what you're trying to really do, is try to get people to actually come and work out. So now a lot of people are hesitant of the money aspect.
Oh, yeah.
But then if you tell them like, hey,
You can have it back.
Like, yeah, like I'm gonna help you. Like I'm gonna try to make sure that you do everything you can possibly to get your money back. Like I just want to see you fit. I want to see you healthy. I want to see you live longer. Things like that. Like they build more of a trust, and like then they're more willing to want to come. So that's something.
Hey, listen, if you use this, it's fine. We don't judge you.
If I use what?
If you use that incentive in your business.
No, I told you I already did it.
I know, but if you still use it, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
but he's not.
He's unconcerned.
He's not banking.
I'm kidding.
He's like, like big pharma or like big corp.
I know.
He's not banking on people not coming. He's actually.
It sounds like you have a good heart behind it.
Yeah, for sure. He wants people to. Like,
that's why I can't show up.
Right. Even the price that.
Terrified.
Yeah, the price that they had set versus mine, like I cut it in half. Yeah. Also, because I'm like, it ain't really necessarily about the money. Like in my mind, I already know. Certain people ain't gonna.
So you're gonna be paid, and that's fine. That's whatever. Not even a thought.
But I'm still going to try my best to help you.
That's huge.
And that's the only thing I can do. But then after that, then I want to try to keep you coming. That's where the main thing is. Also, is where like I would more so focus on trying to get you to like win the challenge. But then now I've built a relationship.
So you got to come
to where now. You want to still stick around after the 6 weeks,
right?
You saw some results and things like that.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's what that was all about.
When you explain it, it sounds a lot better.
Right.
I'm like, I'm sorry.
Right. So
I'm kidding.
And then as far as how I actually even got into me transitioning to actually being a trainer myself.
Yeah.
Like that was never anything I've thought about doing. To be honest, like that was never, no, like that was the furthest thing from my mom's like. If somebody was like, yeah, you're going to be a personal trainer in like 10 years, like 10 years ago, I was like, no, I'm not. Like,
right, because what were you wanting to do? Or what were you?
Yeah, tell us.
I mean, my career path where I got my degree in was like design and drafting technology. So emphasis area was architecture. So like nothing to do with fitness, right? Like nothing to do with it at all. So that was really where I was, and like that was the jobs I was taking and things like that. And I was in that field for about 5 years. Mm-hmm. So then after that, though, like within the 5 years, I was kind of going from company to company and things like that, and just noticing now, like that was my real like first taste of being like in corporate.
Yeah.
And now, like he was like, oh, like this is not really what I want at all. So and just noticing how much people think that working for someone else or whatever like that is like secure, like
so many people feel that way.
Not like that's the because they can really just get rid of you whenever they want,
right? It's probably the most insecure place to be,
right? Like you literally like don't have to do anything. They can just be like, oh, we're just downsizing,
right? Or we just had to go in a different direction,
right? Just saying some stuff
without
and
me?
poof. So
we're just gonna replace you,
right? So that ended up happening though, and I was like, a couple different companies and things like that. But then after like the last one, when that kind of happened, that's when I told myself, I was like, yeah, like I'm never gonna go back to work for someone else.
And wait, when was this? Like how long ago?
That was, when was that? I want to say 18. Okay. No. Wait.
You were 18?
No, I'm talking about
2018. Okay.
I was like,
wait. I was like, wow.
When did COVID start?
2020.
2020. Okay, so that was in 19. That was
2019.
Like October of 19.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because I remember it was like either like on Halloween or like somewhere in between there is when I like ending the job.
After everyone ate all that candy, I see.
I was like, I gotta go.
So then after that, I was like, well, I'm gonna figure out like what I could do for myself. And the main thing that popped in my head was like, I mean, I know working out like fitness and things like that. So that's when I just start focusing on building that. And building my reputation, like in my clientele and things like that when it came to that. And I just started with just like one person. He was a wrestler. And like one of my friends, well, he's still a wrestler now, but he had asked me to like, help train him.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, all right, cool. Like, that's fine. Like, and I don't even think I really even charged him much of anything at the time. I just more so like, I just started, filming them and then just posting it. Like every time we would work out, I would just film them and post it. And then out of nowhere, then like people started inboxing me and was like, hey, are you, like, you a trainer? Like you a personal trainer now? So then I was like, yeah. Sure.
Send your money this way.
It was like, oh, okay. Like, how much do you charge? I was like, oh shoot. Like I could have come up with something like
Yeah.
that. Like that's when I just start making up numbers at that point. But
that's usually how it starts. You do a little research.
I start making up numbers. It's like, about this. So
that's awesome.
So then,
did people respect the numbers and pay you?
Right. Oh yeah. Because like one, I was definitely like really lowballing it, like big.
It's a good strategy.
Did you know you were lowballing it, or were you just kind of like,
I mean, it was cool for me at the time.
Right. Okay.
So I wasn't tripping off of how much it really was, like how much I really was doing. But I still even now like don't want to ever have like outrageous prices and things like that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, one, you got to know your market. Like you got to know where you're at. Like I can't
absolutely.
I can't charge California prices, and I live in Kansas City. Like, that just doesn't.
Right. Yeah. People are like, why?
Make sense. Like,
why?
I'm gonna go homeless. Like that doesn't make sense. So I mean, I just gotta be smart with the pricing and things like that. But no one's ever really had any issues with it. Everybody's pretty much kind of told me like, oh, that's really cheap. Like, or like, they were like, oh, wow, that's very affordable. I was like, yeah, I know. Like, you're pretty much probably not going to get any better. Like, you're not going to, you're still going to get quality.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're going to find
it's not going to get any better.
Right. I don't think so. So that ended up, I mean, just start taking off there. And like, at first, like, during the whole period of me building the clientele, like, I was fortunate enough because again, I did work for corporate at first. So what I ended up doing was just start, just getting unemployment. And with the unemployment, then that's what I used to kind of like sustain myself and things
while
like
you were
that.
like transitioning.
Right.
That's cool.
And that's pretty much what I did. And like I built up enough to where unemployment really allowed me to like kind of keep milking it for like a few months, maybe even like close to a year. Like I was really
I love the honesty.
I was really milking it. Like
a few months, you said close to a year. That's like a really different time span.
When I say a few months, I was thinking like 8 in my head. Like,
8 months, wow.
Yeah, I was able to
2, 3.
But you got fired or like let go, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that makes sense. Yeah. That's what happens when you let people go.
Right.
They get unemployment.
So then I mean, once that happened, then I went ahead and just start focusing then on that. And I first started off just by, and again, so the moment I started really focusing on that is when COVID hit also.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So then like you would think that like, oh shoot, like I'm screwed. Like you would think that would have been tough, but it's for some reason it wasn't. Like it was still easy. Like I was still gaining people and like everything, even though, they say people wasn't going to work and wasn't making money. I was like, well, somehow they were still paying me, so I don't know.
I don't know what was happening. We were working out in mass.
Right, yeah, but I was still doing it. So what I would do, like I would either have them, like they could come to my place, or like I would go to them and go to their house or something like that. And so then I just started doing that for a while. Then I got back with the guy who actually was like my first ever trainer. He actually has his own gym.
Oh, wow.
And then like I got back in touch with him and started talking to him about it and things like that, telling him, well, what I'm doing. And he was like, okay, yeah. So he's like, if you ever need a spot to, train your people and stuff like that, you can always, come here and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, bet. He was like, well, I mean, you can, but, the only thing is you got to get certified. He was like, in order to train here, like I only deal with trainers who are like certified and things like that. So I was like, all right, well. So I went ahead and went to school and got my certification at that point, because I was like, I mean, I don't know anything else at that point. I was like, this is what I plan on doing. So if that's what I got to do in order to get in there, and like that way, and again, that just shows that he's taking me serious, that I'm really serious about it. So then, now what I did do though, because I didn't pay for the course.
Oh, really?
Right. Because I be smart with my Christmas wishes also.
Christian's just turning this conversation all kinds of ways I wasn't expecting. Wait, so who were you requesting this from?
Oh, my mom.
Oh, she's so sweet. I love a good mom. Shout out to mom. You know what I mean?
Miss Dixie.
My mom. I
told her.
I love her, but she don't be coming through with the Christmas wishes anymore. Not like that. That's
I told her, I said that literally I was like, yeah. I don't want anything else. Like, just one gift. And I told her like, I wanted to like do this course, like get into this class and stuff like that. So she went ahead and paid for that, and then it took me about 3 months to finish it because it was online.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because again, it was during COVID also.
Yeah.
So it could only be online.
That's easy to do. I mean, easier, you think.
Right. Yeah. So so then it could be easy, but it could also be tough at times also, because like you don't have anybody else to really ask questions about. If you get stuck on something, like you got to figure it out yourself at that point. But in the long run, though, like like when you're doing like quizzes or something like that, it could be pretty easy.
No comment.
When you were,
what you mean?
So before actually getting certified and everything, and as you're like training people, did it like ignite something in you to where it was like, okay, yeah, I want to actually make a career of this, or were you just kind of like, well, this is what I'm doing right now, so might as well make a career out of it?
That's like, what question.
Was burning inside of you?
I would say. Is anytime I would see the reaction or the emotion from my actual clients, from them seeing their own personal progression and changes happening and things like that, was something that like fueled me and kept me going and made me like really want to continue doing that. Like, cause now me helping them, and then them like really helping themselves at that point was really something that was like my main goal. That was my main overall goal anyways from the whole jump. So
that's awesome.
Once they really started to see that, and then sometimes, some of them would be crying and things like that, and I'd be like, oh. Like I'm not gonna cry with them.
No response.
Right, I ain't gonna cry with them.
I'm not gonna cry with you, but I feel it.
Yeah, I was like, but just. I'm like, yeah, you did that. Like,
that's awesome.
I mean, all I did is give you what to do, but you still did it yourself. Yeah. Like, I can't make you do anything, but it's like that. So that's definitely what really kept me, going, and still keeps me going like till now. Like, it's just all the different people that I'm like willing and like and able to help.
Yeah,
and just. In that aspect of it.
I love it. Is this, you go first.
No, go ahead.
I was going to ask if this is the dream. Like, is this what you see yourself doing for like the next X number of years,
Again, so I mean, I didn't even see myself doing this at all. So I don't know really. Like, I know this is where I'm at now. I know this is what I'm doing now. Like, I don't have any desire to stop anytime soon. Like, I'm definitely thinking now, making ideas of ways to continue advancing it even further. Like, eventually, I'm gonna have like my own like merchandise and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Right.
Put a link in the comment section, the description.
It's coming. Then I'm gonna start my own YouTube channel and things like that. Also for my fitness, I already have the TikTok for the fitness,
which does well.
And, it's doing all right. It's doing all right. I could be a little more.
You can always do better. We all know that.
But the hard thing is really just trying to wear all these different hats, like, and just do all of this yourself.
Yeah.
Like, God dang, man, it's
hard.
That's tough. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I've
kudos to everybody who's doing it, like, because it is not hard. It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. It's very hard. Yeah. When you get a little extra cash, you bring someone in and you ask them to help you.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like on the thing, for me, like with Helps Too, it's been like the most pressing need.
Right.
Like, and now that I'm older, like I've been running Helps Too, my own marketing company for like 12 years. And it's really easy to see your dream, and you kind of like, I have brought people in and the ROI of having them has been zero. But like, it was really fun. You know what I mean? It was like a nice, good memories.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older, I'm like, all right, if I bring someone in, even if it's $300 a month, which feels, big to some, small to others, I need to see the ROI. It doesn't always have to be money, but I need to see like the brand grow, or like, we got to fulfill the vision. So that's what I tell people, because you just can't do it all forever.
Right.
Like, you just can't.
Yeah.
But it's good that you're in a place where it's kind of like expanding to that point. Probably doesn't feel good, but like, that means you're growing. Yeah.
Right.
So that's huge.
It's just the matter of trying to still find time to do all that, but then still training everyone.
100%.
So, because I mean, I'm still constantly getting more and more people to train. So like now that's just taking up more and more time. But then I'm trying to figure out how to find other time to actually record my own workouts and edit my own videos and post my own stuff and like do all of that. So it's just a matter of
the many hats. Comment if you can agree and resonate with
For sure.
with this, because I do.
Right.
I just want to like cry some days. It's fine. You just like cry and just keep
Cry,
going.
let it go.
Let it go.
Keep
Let
going.
all the like
Yeah.
pressure go.
Sometimes
And
you need-
Right.
you need
Yeah.
to. But,
Things
yeah.
that creatives go through. See,
absolutely.
that's right there,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's for real.
Yeah.
Oh, I could
How
talk
would
about that forever.
So like listening to your story, just like how you started out and like you thought you were going to go into like architecture and all of that. It's kind of cool though to see, because as a trainer, you're having to build these workouts for yourself and for people. And so having to also like wanting them to keep coming back.
Right.
Like not only are they like seeing results, but also keep coming back and not get like bored. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
I feel like,
good.
you know, having to be creative as an architecture, like I see you doing that in your workouts. You know what I mean? Like using just the creativity of like coming up with new designs or whatever, carry over into like your fitness brand. And so like, do you think, is it hard for you to come up with like workouts, or is it like kind of fun? Do you feel like you're using, you know, that side of your brain to like come up with?
Yeah. What's your creative process?
I would say, I mean, I'm definitely utilizing that side of my brain more than I did when I was, you know, working in corporate ever.
Oh, totally.
Ever.
I guess,
Because working there, again, I wasn't doing what I thought I was going to be doing either.
Yeah.
It was a lot of minute, like repetitive things over and over and over, like just taking a drawing and fixing some stuff, and then go to the next drawing, fixing some stuff.
Oh, that's
like,
horrible.
Like it was just like that's
Yeah.
really pretty much all it was.
mundane.
So maybe like the first week, you know, I could figure out ways on being creative on how to figure out how to do things quicker.
Yeah.
And things like that, make things easier. But then, I mean, after that, then it's like, okay, now what? Like,
What's next?
Because now it's boring. Because now I'm still just doing the same stuff over and over.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much every company where I was like kind of at, and then just sitting behind a desk, like with the 2 monitors in front of me, and just sitting there for 8 hours straight. I'm like, that's the first time I've ever drunk
crazy.
coffee.
I can't even see you doing that.
I've never drunk coffee a day
Oh
in my
my
life
gosh.
until I worked for corporate. Like that was
Oh,
crazy.
wow.
Yeah. So, and I needed it. I had to. Like,
Just to stay awake. It's
yeah,
boring.
I was
Have you
going
drank
to
it
sleep. No, well, frappuccinos.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Every now and again, I'll get those from like
You guys,
McDonald's.
Christian cracks me up to the fullest.
Frappuccinos.
Frappuccinos.
Yeah.
I don't even know if people consider that coffee, but it's fine. Frappuccino.
Depends on where you get it.
That's true.
Right.
It's just Starbucks, it's not coffee. It's just
Yeah.
a frappuccino.
So then, so now that was one thing that I really lacked and missed and like wanted was for me to be able to be creative. One was being creative. Another one was being able to like move and also
Yes.
like meet people, like and talk and stuff like that. So, and that was everything that I did or wasn't able to get. Whereas now, like it's
can do that.
everything I'm able to do. So
Yeah.
I'm never like sitting in one particular spot. I'm always like able to up and move and do stuff, and then I can use my creativity to figure out different ways to not make workouts so boring all the time. Because I mean, you guys any of my clients, like they could come in there, they have no idea what they're gonna do. Like
I can
That's
Any
why I
day.
don't come.
I can attest to that. He was helping me train for football, and let me tell you, I never knew what I was gonna do until I got there, and even during it, I never knew what I was gonna do after, and I was always like, "Whoo!"
Yeah.
You know, though, I do believe if I did come, I'd get in better shape. But like just for me,
Oh, you would get a bit
it's
of
terrifying to know that. But I think that's
like-
awesome.
yeah.
It's probably a lot
It's
of fun.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
it's fun, but it's also at first it kind of is because this guy
This
he's
man.
he's a very athletic, very fit guy, and like he pushes you beyond like what you think you can go.
I
So,
know.
of course, like, and he's relentless. So you be saying, I don't think I can do one more. He's like, nah, I know you got like 5 more. Like, and you be
Look
pushing
at his
you.
face. I can
I
see
mean,
it.
yeah.
It's
and you
it's
do it
true.
though, but you push out 5.
Even if it takes you however long it
It's
takes,
like, wait, but you do
you're
it
gonna
though.
get that 5.
You guys crack me up.
So
I'm
so,
being
yeah.
for real, you do, because like a lot of it literally is just you just in your head at that point.
That's so
it's
true.
not a
It's
matter
mental.
of yeah. It's in the gym is all
100%.
mental. To be honest, it really has it has some stuff to do with your actual fitness level, of course, but then majority of it is just you just doubting yourself. Like that's a lot of stuff. A lot of people come in the gym and like they just are putting limits on themselves.
Yeah, that's
before
fair.
even doing anything. So I'm just like, I could just put a weight on there and they haven't even touched it yet. They're just gonna be like, oh no. Like, no, that's too much. That is too heavy. It's like, who's doing that? It's like, you. What do you mean? So then they're like, I can't do that. And then they get down there and end up doing it like 5 times. I was like, see, like you could do it. But then instead of just being like, oh yeah, like you was right, they were like, I barely did it though. Like I was like, okay, all right,
this is what we're doing right now.
I struggled the whole way
right.
through.
I'm like, I still got some
Just
work
give me
to
some
do.
credit.
Yeah.
Right. Still
That's
working on your
hilarious.
mind. Still getting there. It's gonna
That's real.
take some time.
That's
but-
real.
Right. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, wait. So let's get into it. I want you to tell us some ways, right? Like today's conversation is called How to Optimize Your Physical Health. How can you, Christian, optimize? Let's think creatives, right? A lot of us are terrified, including myself, to come to a trainer.
Right.
Because we're like, what is that going to look like? You know what I mean? How would you go about even guiding someone? Like, it doesn't have to be like, do this workout. It could even be more macro. Like, how do you optimize your health?
Okay, well, I mean, first and foremost, you got to focus on your eating, your nutrition.
I feel like God is coming for me today.
That's gonna be about.
You ever feel that way? Sorry. I'm like, huh?
Right. So like, I mean, like 80 to 85% of it is
Yeah.
like just your eating, is your diet. So
What
like,
does that mean? Tell us more.
like as far as like that gut that people are getting, like that's more so to do with your eating, like what you're gonna eat. Like the love handles you're getting, that's the food. Like,
Or you have. I'm just laughing because I feel so convicted. Go, keep going.
Yeah, I'm just saying. A lot of times, that's really what it is. Is just that they're overeating and not really exerting enough energy, but they're eating too much. So, like, think of, I mean, food is and calories is pretty much just like another way of saying energy, because that's really much what food is.
That's real.
Food is just energy. So you're intaking more energy than what you're outputting, like than what you're getting out. So at that point, you keep holding it in, and now like you're getting bigger. So the goal,
That's good.
overall goal, is to be able to be expending more energy than what you're actually taking in. But you still need to, of course, take in energy because you need energy to live.
Yeah.
So
100%.
that's the overall, as far as like being able to lose weight, is just a matter of, burning more calories than what you're actually eating. So once somebody can, focus, I would say somebody tackle that first. Like get that down first, and then like have a better understanding of, of food. And like it kind of takes a matter of like the way you look at it and think of food also. Like you got to kind of change that. And a lot of times people are looking at it as like pleasure or like for something that's like
coping.
Something like that, instead of like exactly what it is. Like food is just there to kind of refuel your body so then you can keep moving about your day. Like it's just like gas for a car. Like that's all it is. You're just putting gas in the car so that the car can keep moving and and keep getting you to the next destination. So that's all it is just you're just putting food in your car, in your body, just so you can move on to the next thing. But people, get too much.
Totally.
So then now you get lazy. Now you get the
Your
itis.
check engine lights coming on.
Right. Right.
Windshield wipers ain't working.
Windshield wipers producing gas
Just
and
got
stuff.
one.
Right. Something's not working right.
Right. That's real.
So
Wow.
once somebody, can tackle that and really focus on that, they'll immediately start to see some results, some changes. But now as far as somebody who, wants to also continue to build muscle, want to increase their endurance levels and things like that, as far as being able to just, move around better without having to huff and puff and stuff like that, then that's when now you need to incorporate some type of fitness.
Yeah.
And I mean, one thing I think a lot of people try to like overthink it too much. Like it can be pretty simple if you want it to be, or it can be complex if you want it to be. It's just a matter of like you in general, like, and how you're thinking about it. So for most beginners, I would just say like, don't overthink it. Just let's just start with the basics. Like, let's just go out and walk.
Okay, I was gonna ask you, like, what is the basics?
Right. Let's just get moving.
Okay.
Let's start there. Let's just get moving. Or and walking, is like a form of a cardio. Again, that's like the bare minimum that I would tell somebody. Now, most of like my people who are training with me though, like, I'm never gonna start anybody out walking. No, I'm like, that's just not me.
So what are we doing if we start out with you? Like,
Again, so that depends on the person. It always depends on the person.
That's fair. I'm like, are we jogging?
So let's just say somebody who's like really overweight, right? And like haven't worked out in years, probably never. Okay, I'll probably start them maybe like on like the elliptical.
Okay.
I'll probably start them there. And then on there, though, they're going for a certain speed, a certain pace.
Yeah.
Going on a nice little pace. Nothing where there is it's like a walk, like a trot, but it's still fast. It's still not as fast as a run.
Yeah.
So they're still, exerting some more energy than what they normally would be. So I would start them there, or some people I might start them like on the actual bike. Somebody I might start on like jump ropes. Yeah, just something like that.
There's so much, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's all different type of cardio, like different ways to do cardio. But somebody who's not coming to a personal trainer and wants to do it on their own, I would say pick a cardio that you like, that you enjoy. It could be swimming. It could be, playing basketball. It could be, again, running, biking. Pick something that you will actually enjoy doing. Because then you're going to be more likely to stick with it.
That's so true. Yeah.
You don't. If you are running and you hate running, you're gonna dread doing it.
Right. Like, you're gonna hate exercise.
Why would you do that?
That's real.
Because your friends are like, hey, we're gonna do this run or whatever. Like, you should come and join us. Like, yeah, it's nice to do it with your friends, but they like doing that.
Yeah.
That's the reason why they're asking you to join them.
Yeah.
You don't. So like, they're gonna stick with it. But overall, it's not really going to benefit you.
Yeah, that's real.
In the long run. But so I would just say that, and then just pretty much sticking with I would say maybe even smaller weights. Now again, you would still want something that's going to challenge you.
Yeah.
The smaller the weight, probably the more reps you would have to do though.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
So I'll put it that way. So again, a lot of people like to stick with this idea of like 3 sets of 10, like that's like the general like reps and sets.
Here comes God coming for me again.
That is the general reps and sets that like universally is known.
Okay,
you do 3 sets of 10, but I'm like, okay, if you did 10 but you didn't feel anything, you didn't do enough.
Yeah,
like you have to do more, or you need to increase the weight.
What should we be feeling? I mean, we're gonna get into this the next episode, so. Stay tuned. Next episode, you'll know that. So don't even answer that question. Okay, so wait, I want to back up here. Let's talk about. So I really feel like we hit fitness, the weights. We're gonna hit that next episode. So you got to tune in. Let's talk about eating. Okay. What do you eat? Because this dude just ate 3-4 pieces of pizza before we got here. So I'm like, how does someone who's a fitness instructor that's really in good shape just like eat 4 pieces? I need to know your mind thinking.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, not to shame you or anything.
No, it's fine. So,
but you didn't have any trouble eating the pizza either. Yeah. Like you didn't feel like, oh my gosh, I didn't hear any comments about like, I'm eating too many carbs right now, or like I didn't hear any of that.
No.
Because there's so many diets and fads. So I wanted to hear your thinking on how that works.
Again, so I would never recommend to anybody to eat the way I do. let me start there.
Okay, so that's off the table. All right.
I would never do that. I'm able to do that just because like I'm at a place now where I'm able to do that. Like and still maintain.
Like you're working out enough? Is that what you mean? Or like what does that mean?
Like,
you're
like
able to do?
I've got my body to a point now to where like I'm going to be able to still maintain my overall like physique and muscle mass and like all of that with what I'm still able to just eat. Like I can still pretty much eat whatever I want.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm in the back of my mind because I've already went through that process of cutting things out and being able to slowly implement things back in.
Okay.
Again, so I did do that at one point. So I'm not. So I don't want anybody to think that you can't. That you have. That you can skip on like actually cutting the bad things out.
Like eating well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You got to start there. Always in the beginning.
Yeah.
Once you get to a place where you're comfortable, then that's when you want to try to, throw little things back in that you enjoy eating. Because I mean, who wants to continue just eating, like chicken and broccoli all day.
And no
like,
carbs.
And rice.
Like almost everything has carbs.
Yeah, like nobody wants to do that for the rest of their life. Like, you want to be able to eat things that you enjoy sometimes.
That's
like,
good.
so, if you have like a brownie or some ice cream or something like that, like you want to be able to enjoy that without feeling, any type of way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
You should be able to, but you also have to go through that process of eating like correctly first, so then you can
making it a habit.
Right. And then it actually helps you know more about, like, learn more about food, and then you'll understand better like what you're eating, like what it is.
Yeah.
And things like that, because most people, you're gonna look at something or you're just gonna pick it up and just start eating it. You're not really gonna even think about what it is.
Yeah.
Me though, like anytime I'm eating anything, like my brain automatically kind of be like, all right, so that's mostly probably carbs. Like there's probably like maybe 20% protein in that. There's maybe like a couple, like there's like some fats in there also from like the cheese and stuff like that. But like I'm like literally in my head like doing just stuff like that, just randomly, automatically, like with the pizza. Like I already kind of had did that. But then I'm also still mindful of everything I've ate up until now.
Yeah,
also,
absolutely. So that was like a treat for you, kind of like
right.
It's
So it's not like a matter of me. I mean, even if I do tend to like go out and eat at some fast food place, or whatever, like as far as how many calories or like how much carbs and stuff like that is in that meal, like I'm not going to continue eating like that the rest of the day.
Right.
I might eat like that for that meal, and then now I know personally for myself, like, okay, well, I can't have like another full meal or something like that. Like now I can just eat like little small things, or maybe eat some more fruit, like just eat little things here and there, things like that. So it is a give and take. Like there is a way for people to be able to still, I mean, honestly, you can still lose weight while eating whatever you want. Like that is true.
Everyone's going to be like, huh?
Right. That is actually true. But what they don't tell you is like, the amount of food you're going to be able to eat while doing that is very
lot less.
Very, very little. Like you're
real.
really probably only going to eat like one meal, like in like the whole day, because there's so many calories that's going to be wrapped into that one meal that you just ate.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to take up everything.
Yeah.
So the more clean it is, the less calories is in it. So that means the more you can eat it throughout the day.
More food to eat.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I got this Big Mac and that's like 1,500 calories in it versus like my chicken and broccoli and that's maybe only like 300, maybe 400, I can eat this like 4 times throughout the day, that equals that one Big Mac. Like, so you eat that one Big Mac in the morning, you're going to be hungry later, like around 5, like easily about 3, 4, 5. Like,
yeah. And then a lot of that's empty calories too, like just not nutrient dense. Like, chicken and broccoli is super nutritious. Like, so that's great to think about too.
For sure. So that's
not me trying to teach a fitness coach. What he already knows.
No, definitely.
You were dropping some good stuff.
You know what? Somebody said one time, they said, and this has always stuck with me, and so I always repeat it to myself, because that shaming comes in. Like when you're trying to get in shape, you're like, man, I just want an ice cream. Like the whole crew is going to get ice cream. I just want to get some. Yeah. And you can shame yourself out of it, or like shame yourself after it. You kind of like, well, I already had the ice cream. I'm going to have 5 more horrible things. But somebody said, it doesn't take one meal. Like you're not going to get healthy in one meal. Just like you're not going to get unhealthy in one meal. So like the one-off moments aren't going to like hurt you tremendously.
Right. As long as you're one-offs.
In some weird situation. Yeah. As long as they're one-off. I think it's not 5-off.
As long as they stay as one-offs, not like one-offs each like every day. You don't want to keep having one-offs.
That's the
like,
issue.
Now you had 7 offs in 1 week. Like, like.
Yeah, there has to be some accountability for sure.
100%.
I think though, but I think a main thing that can help motivate people is like the shaming part. Like if you do have a one-off, like what's not going to help you is to continue shaming yourself. You know what I mean? Because then it's going to make you, like if you cope with food, then it's going to make you turn even more to food. And so 100%. It's going to be a cycle that's just not.
Ooh, that's why you got to get your mind right. Like the series we're in.
So it's kind of looking at it, if, okay, you did have a one-off, you messed up. All right.
Yeah.
So it's like, from that moment, it's like, okay, well, did I enjoy it? All right, so I'm gonna just be present in the moment. I enjoyed this. It was good. All right, let's start again the next meal.
Yeah.
Like, instead of like, some people will be like the next day, but that's kind of will lead you down the wrong path too. It's let's start again the next meal, and then be like, all right, so this meal, let's try to be a little more cognizant of like what I'm putting into my body. That way you help heal your mind, because the main, if we talk about it starts in your mind, like whether you're in the gym or like when you're like eating, like then you need to learn how to speak to yourself in a healthier way in 100%. Order to lead to healthier choices. Right. And, you know what I mean? So just learning not to like
that's so good
yourself, but also knowing if you do struggle with that, you might need some accountability somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. You know what? I found my most like, so I struggled just like you after high school. I was like athletics all day, every day. Like I played everything, you know? And then, you know, you go from running the hurdles to nothing. It's just nothing.
Right.
And so, and I remember I actually got a track scholarship, but I didn't want to be exactly like my older brother because he went to Cal, he ran track, he was phenomenal. And then I was like, I can't live in his shadow, and I'm a musician, I got to go do my thing. So I just rejected it, and it was a full-time job. Sports in college, people don't talk about this. It's a lot of work, and I just wasn't into it. And so, long story short, I got to college and I was like, man, this is hard. But one thing that really, really helped me is getting around other people. I never even asked them to keep me accountable, but like people you'd run with, or like, I remember just running through the city. I went to school in Boston. We'd just run through the city like in the mornings. And like I had one friend that would run with me. We would never stretch, and she makes fun of me to this day. Like, Gabby, like we don't need to stop and stretch all the time. And I'm like, but we never stretch. What if something just like pops? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Because athletics, you know what I mean? Like you warm up, stretch. She would never stretch. And I'm like, we need to stretch. But anyways, those moments, like I got in shape because I just had people around me. And I just want to say that, like, just have people around you that are after the same things. And it just, like, becomes natural accountability. Like, when you hang out with your friends, like, and everybody's cut, you don't want to be and I don't think that's how we should see life, but, like, you just naturally, like, become, like, your friends. The 5 people you hang out with all the time, if they're really great athletes, like, you might be slow, but, like, you'll probably become fast. With them, like, naturally.
Increase your ability somehow.
Yeah, 100%.
Are we, I don't know if we're at this question, but like, I want to ask both you. But so starting.
Both of us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one of your
No, you're fine. Let me get a drink. I got to get ready.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess the question I'll pose is your question, which I really like, which I think we're kind of on that topic, is what's the biggest challenge you've ever had physically, I guess? So are we ready for that question, or what do you think? Or did you want to save it?
No, it's good.
Okay.
I think.
So either one.
Let's all do that and then give a bit of encouragement. That's how we can end. Yeah? I think that's great. The biggest physical challenge, I think I'm kind of in it, to be honest. Like, so I think I have never, I don't want to say, I'm not like, I hate, weight is so sensitive. So I'm like trying to be very careful about like, and triggering. We need to put a trigger warning on this because I know not everyone can talk about it, but I'm pretty open, and luckily, that has not been my struggle in life. My struggle has been other things. And so, I will say for me, I am probably the most out of shape I've ever been. But like like when you're an athletic person, naturally, like I think the scale of out of shape is different. So I don't want to say like I'm not out here working out, because I work out like sporadically right now. I get you. But I was just boxing yesterday and I ran this morning. And so I know that sounds bad, guys, but I'm telling you, it's not. You would, anyways. So I just got married, and y'all know that, and so they always tell you these things like, oh, when you go to college, you're gonna get the freshman 15, or like when you get married, you're gonna like gain 25 pounds. And like legitimately, that is my journey right now. And so I'm like, oh shoot, like how do I do this? And the one thing about marriage is like, for me, I don't know if everyone else feels this way. I'll speak for myself. I feel like you want to do like most everything with the person you just married because you love them, right? But I think you still have to find like your individuality as well. And, you know, for me, I'm like, hey, Gabby, like if you want to be athletic, like that is what you need to pursue and just get it done. Like go do it, go find your crew. And so I think I'm just in that season, like where I'm like, how bad do you want it? Because it's easy just to be like, oh, I'm in love. And like, I don't really want it that bad. But then summer hits. And you're like, and that sun comes out, and you're like,
sun's out, guns out. Oh.
You know what? May and June is the biggest like April Fool's joke. It goes April, May, June, real quick on you, and you think you're in April. You're like, we're in spring. I got months. I got hours upon hours, and then May hits,
and you're like,
you know what? It's still spring, and then June hits, and you're like, what happened? How did this get here so fast? Everyone wants to go swimming now, and you're just like not comfortable. For me, it's not. I don't need to look like a celebrity, or I just want to be comfortable. Yeah. And for me, that's just like, you know it when you're in it. Like it doesn't have to look a certain way or be a certain pounds. Like when I was doing athletics and like up until this point in my life, I never stepped on a scale. I've always been like very dense as a human. So like I weigh like 20 pounds more than all of my counterparts in sports. And I was just like, I'm not stepping on a scale. Like my BMI is off the charts always. Like even when I had no fat, just I'm not doing it. So yeah, that's my biggest challenge. And I think how I'm overcoming it is just being patient with yourself. That's good. Maybe this is just helpful for someone. Like, I think you have to learn to love yourself. Like, it's kind of messed up if you don't, and we've all been there, but I'm sure, but like how rude are you to yourself, I guess, if you can't love yourself, even when things aren't what you want them to be. And so like the ebbs and flow of life, like, and then just being a woman, like if I'm being honest, like a lot of us are going to have kids and hormone changes, they swing fast and to the left and fast and to the right and all these changes, and just becoming an adult for most of us is like, even guys too, like there's hormone changes there as well, and dad bods are a thing, like hashtag dad bod, like it's a whole movement. And so I think you just have to love yourself and find that love that God has for you no matter where you're at, like period.
I want to applaud you though, because even though you're going through that like challenge, you still get up every day and you set goals for yourself and you're trying to achieve those goals. So you're still like going to the gym and you're still, you know what I mean? Like doing something, trying to find, you know, your, I guess like your routine or your path. Yeah. And so I do applaud you for doing that. 'Cause some people would just, you know, give up or like feel their emotions for a really long time before they got back up on that train. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like as long as I've known you, and, you know, I feel like you've always been someone who's still pushing yourself to try to achieve those. So I don't feel like you back down very easily.
Thank you. You know, it's just, I love it. I actually love to run on a treadmill. Like, it sounds strange, but like, you know, once I get into like mile 2 and I'm in a groove, good songs playing, I feel my heart beating, like, there's no feeling like that in the world. I mean, I guess it's because I was a runner. It's weird. I don't see myself as a runner, but I was a runner. Like feeling that blood, I can't think about drama. Like there's like this heightened reality you have when you're working out and you're breathing hard. Like, you know, my heart's beating at 180. Like I just don't have time to be like, oh, so-and-so called me this, or like, I'm thinking only about God. And it's a weird thing. Like, but that's just how I experience it. And I love it. And like, not just running, but just I love exercise. I've found a love for it. So
I applaud you because I mean I don't mind running. No, what am I saying?
But not everyone feels that way, and I know that. Yeah.
I like running. I like to be outside when I run because I like to look at things. I like to look at nature, and I have that is nice. I can have that same exact feeling, as well as I'm also more in tune with like the Lord, and I'm talking to Him and stuff too as I'm running. But I get like that runner side too when I'm outside. It's very hard for me to get it on a treadmill just because I'm like there's nowhere to look, and so I'm just thinking about I'm on this treadmill and I still have 20 more minutes to go.
Oh my gosh.
Can't. And so like, but I would say like recently, like I've done a little better where I've like ran on a treadmill, not up to like 30 minutes on I can't. I hate to say like I can't. It's more of like I'm unmotivated to run.
Understood.
On a treadmill
for
30 minutes. I'd rather run 30 minutes outside. But yeah. But anyways,
that's been a struggle too, living in Kansas City.
People,
for me. Because I love being outside as well. We used to run the hills, the mountains, like, and I had a crew, they were all in their 50s, and these people were killing me. Like my first time I ran 12 miles with them, I had a hangover. Like my head was hurting so bad. Like, and I miss having that crew and running outside in nature. Yeah. And so when winter hits here, it's like where do I go?
Right.
Yeah. Treadmill.
I still love running.
Cycling.
Winter was one of the most fun times I had running.
You run outside?
Yeah, I used to. I don't do that like right now. I'm kind of in this mood where I want to start running again, but I'm not motivated to run. So I'm finding other ways that I enjoy to work out.
Do your fitness.
So I used to, oh man, running, something about lacing up your shoes and like you're having like your hoodie, like you don't want to, like, depending on like how cold it is, like how you dress. So like not having too much on. And so like, but you're like, you don't feel it. Like you just feel this high of like, you're out here in the snow and you're just, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I just running in the snow.
You're
just,
amazing.
Like, just something. But anyways. But
I'm such a Californian. If it's 40, I'm going to be inside.
Yeah.
How about you, Christian?
No, I'm not running outside. No.
When I went to,
not one bit.
Yeah. When I was in college, I used to see, because I would go running all the time. And I used to see like people like, because you like, depending on how you dress. So like it wasn't like with the snow, but it was like cold. It was like cold without the snow. So you know what I mean? Sometimes that can be colder. But like I used to see a couple of like older people, they would run like with like no shirt and just their leggings on there and then like gloves. And that was it. And like, and it's cold and like, or like
you said
see people,
no shirt?
Yeah, no shirt and just like
what kind of people are we talking about?
Like, well, you know.
I think that kind of explains
yes, and
it.
like also older people.
I think that.
Like, older people that were like I think they were like marathon runners.
That's
like,
real. Yeah.
So you can tell the vibe, or like some people like or they had a hat on, so it was like a hat, no shirt.
I am
like,
so sensitive to like.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like
temperature
crazy
changes,
like,
to say the least.
Yeah, but also
Christian,
too, like,
I cannot with you.
I know, but also too like
some of us are more inclined to be
that.
sensitive to temperature changes. You know that is funny.
Anyways, but I guess like
what's your challenge? Tell us.
So my challenge.
Well, before you went to the challenge, like one thing, like when you talking about the treadmill. One thing that normally I used to find it boring, but what I would do now is like if I'm ever just gonna be on the treadmill for a long period of time, I would literally like kind of just turn on a show.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
On my phone, I would just watch some type of little like anime or something like that. Like and literally like I mean that's gonna be pretty much like a good 20 to 30 minutes long, or I'll just find something like maybe a little longer. And now I'm just like watching that and like I'm really like so focused on that I'm not even really paying attention to me running.
Yeah.
So that would be a way easily for like if you ever did try to like do like 30 minutes or something like that, like because you're not thinking about it so much.
Yeah, you're occupied mentally.
You really wouldn't even feel it as much because a lot of times like people like when you really start to feel like some type of burn or something like that, like you like, oh man, like I can't do this no more, it's because you're focused on it. Like you're focused on that pain and that your body's like generating. So if you like literally like took your mind out of it and just thought of something else, like you really wouldn't necessarily feel it too much. Kind of like think about if, somebody's in a fight, right? And you're getting hit, of course, and stuff like that, like, but you're hitting back and things like that. Like during the fight, you're not feeling
adrenaline.
Nothing.
Yeah, you're not like gauging the pain
at
all.
Once the fight's over,
it's different.
That's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Or like you could like scrape your leg or something playing sports or stuff like that. And like as you're playing still nothing.
Yep.
The moment you look down and you see
it's throbbing.
Right. Now it's just on fire. You be like, what? Oh my God. Like
that's my life, man.
It's like little kids when they like hurt themselves and it's like, you know what I mean? They'll be like crying about it and then like you put a Band-Aid on and they're fine. And then you don't mention it. And then one thing, like someone could be like, what's wrong with your finger? And then they be like, it's
like, horrible. Yeah.
Yes. Like then they go back to it.
We're low key like that, honestly.
For the most part.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's real.
That's good.
I've tried that. It works for me for a little bit. Like the most I can do. Like
you didn't find a good enough show then.
No, I'm telling you, it's like 15 minutes. But I'm like I love to just be outside because like the whole time I'm still like I'm into the show, but like I still know where I'm at, and I'm just like, dang.
Treadmill trauma.
I mean, outside is definitely better for you, anyways.
I just
yeah, absolutely, it's better for
but
you.
I have to do, like, that's usually what keeps me even on there for 15 minutes is like either finding a show or like listening to like good music where I'm literally like singing. Like I found that helps me, like where I'm singing the words and I'm just like, I put myself like I'm in the music video. Like Eminem is like really good to listen to while you're like running.
Oh yeah,
so, like because you're just like,
sure.
I feel like
He's so angry though.
I'm
trying to get
like
peaceful after my run. I'd be so mad.
But I want like I want something that's like where I'm just like
such a beast.
Like you say you want something peaceful
running.
as you're working out.
Actually, I mean, not necessarily like vibe peaceful, like but like good message. You know what I mean? Like good vibes.
I'm thinking like
Eminem's so mad. He's like cussing out his baby mama.
You want to be in a like you're gonna be in the gym listening to like the worship music instead of like praising
like Christian rap. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So it's still
so it has to bang. Like don't you know?
Okay, you're not in there listening.
Christ gang, but no bang. Right. I stay in my lane. Sorry.
Right.
It's a Bizzle quote.
It ain't like some massage.
I mean every now and then I'm like, Lord, I love you. I'm like listening to like full on worship music. I'm just like jockeying and crying. But like, it's rare moments.
I can do that outside.
Rare
like,
moments.
I used to do that. Yeah.
Right.
It shouldn't be rare, but
I'm like
more of a like hip hop head. 100%.
I'm like upset, but okay.
What's your challenge? Yeah, tell us.
So I experienced one of my biggest challenges actually a couple years ago. I'm coming out of it now, so I'm not there anymore. Praise God, because it was rough. So unlike like you guys, I guess like I didn't really struggle with like wanting to work out or move my body too much after sports, like after college or high school. That was just something that was already like I was already motivated to do it. Like I like to run, so I was always running. And then like so that's kind of my main thing that kind of took over, where I like to run 5Ks. I like to
I didn't know that. I'm gonna invite you to all the races I'm doing.
Yeah, I would love to. I just gotta once I find my motivation to get back, but I'm wanting to. So that might be it. Like,
slip you some invites. Slip you some invites.
Some 5Ks, like, let me know too.
Okay, cool. We got a crew.
Remember, like I used to do. I mean, I ran cross country also. Like, in like I'm also
so excited.
Track coach myself. So like,
okay,
and that's what I do. Like, I train the mid to long distance kids and stuff like that. So like,
let's go.
We're always on running like a good 5 miles. Maybe sometimes I might take them like on an 8-mile run or something like that. But like,
oh wow. Okay, we'll talk. I have some info. Breaking news so after this.
That would probably be.
This is good.
But yeah. So like I always like to do that stuff. I was the one that kind of like among my friends like let's go running and like stuff like that. But I was more of like I like to do it myself. That was like my space to just kind of like meditate on just like different stuff, because I think a lot. So it was just like letting the thoughts just flow, or like talking to the Lord or whatever it was. And so that's just something that I really like to do. And I was doing it up until I just started experiencing like some really crazy health problems, like for no reason. And that put a damper on like being able to do that. And that was kind of hard, because I also had to like I think I'd put a lot of my identity in just working out and running specifically and being an athlete. And so when I couldn't do that anymore, it was hard. Because like for me, it was like I was experiencing like panic attacks, random panic attacks, and I would have them while I was running, and it was scary. Like where there was like a time where I was running and I was like, I was so upset too, because I was like in my zone. Because sometimes you have good runs and sometimes you have like bad runs, and I was like, this was a good run. I was like, I just want to keep running for however long. And I was like midway in my run, and I started like getting really, really dizzy. I feel like I couldn't breathe. My hands and my body like was tensing up, just like a full blown like panic attack at that time. And I was like, oh my gosh. And like also heart palpitations. And I was like,
oh gosh.
I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And I also too, like living where I live, like I would run on the highway. Like I had like my path that part of it was on the highway to get over to the other side. And so I happened to be on the highway that time, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what if I just pass out like right now? Like just on that, like what am like, you know, and so I had to like, I just remember just stopping abruptly, because I was like, I really feel like I'm gonna pass out. And that was kind of for me the like wake up call of like, I don't think I'm like, I don't understand, like this has never happened before while I was running. And I just remember kind of making me nervous to do it again, like to go running. And I remember like thinking, okay, maybe, you know, let's switch things up. Maybe I didn't like drink enough water or whatever it was, trying to figure it out. And I remember doing it like again, and it happened again. And so it just kept happening while I was like working out. And I was like, I don't understand. So that was just kind of like a moment where I was like, this thing that I like to do, I can't do it anymore, and I don't know why. And so taking a long time to try to figure out why, because I didn't have any answers for the longest time. And then just kind of falling off. You get like discouraged because it was just like, this was this one thing. Because at the time too, I didn't have a car. So like I couldn't just go where I wanted to go when I wanted to go. And running was also part of that. Like I could just, all right, like that's cool. I'm just going to go, you know. And so that was just like all gone. And I was just like, oh, so I got so depressed. And that's when I also started to see like pounds creep back up, not being able to, you know, do like certain activities as long as I wanted to, all that stuff, because I just wasn't being able to stay in shape as much as, you know, as I wanted to or whatever due to that. And so that was like, that happened and lasted, I want to say, for about 4, almost 5 years. And
whoa, that's a while.
Oh, a very, very long time. I was able to do like, for the most part, some like other activities I like to do, like other sports and stuff, but not to the fullest of my ability, as like, you know what I mean? And like, not like, I would also still in the back of my mind be scared that that was going to happen again. And also sometimes it would, where I would have to like stop and like kind of make sure I was drinking enough water or whatever things I had to like, I cling to things that in those moments I felt helped. Yeah. Kind of thing, where I was like, okay, I got to make sure I always have water with me. Got to make sure I always have like, you know, whatever it is to like, just in case that happens. All right, at least I got this. And it would kind of, okay, like I'm okay. And so anyways, but like I said, that that lasted for like 4, almost 5 years. And I can't tell you, all I know is that the Lord, the Lord came through. Cause I mean, I would cry to him and just like talking to him, like, Lord, help me. And like, also being an athlete, and you do see your body change. You see like things, like you see a gut coming, and then you like see like love handles or whatever. And you're just like, oh my gosh, like, what is this? Like we're like never having to like experience that. And so it's just kind of like shocking. But once I did finally come out of that, being able to incorporate working out like to things that I like to do. So I think I lost somewhere around there. Like I just lost, like, I don't know, just the interest in like wanting to run like anymore, like to that be my main thing. And I was fine with it. Like it was sad to kind of let it go, but I was just like, you know what? That's okay. I just gonna lay it down. And I really like had this desire to like want to start lifting. So I was like, I want to be in the gym. And so like for me, it was like to keep me motivated and to, you know, I guess, help me get back started, was like, all right, we're going to choose to lift. So we're going to, you know, do a gym membership or whatever. And that's what we're going to do. And I just started enjoying it again. And so like, and like, I'd say also too, like what's helped is like being patient with myself, of like, I guess if you're not seeing the results that you want to see or whatever, but it's not even really about that for me. It's more of like consistency, like starting back up, starting slowly, and like just doing it because I enjoy it, if that makes sense, versus doing it because I have to. So that like, I guess the one tip would be like starting slow. So, and also picking something that you're going to enjoy. And then that way it helps you stay consistent. And then also giving yourself grace that, you know, if you miss a day, okay, well, try not to let that go for a long time, but like make sure you know, start back up. Or, you know, if you're in the gym and you're like, well, I had a really good workout, but like, I don't know, listening to your body too, like I'm just overly tired. Maybe I didn't eat quite enough today. So like, maybe like, I'm just going to do this, and this, but you know, not this like part.
Or like rest is more beneficial.
Rest is better for like,
out.
But not letting that again go like multiple days. Just being like, let me listen to my body. My body needs this right now. So we did still do this over here, but now I'm gonna like listen to my body, go give it what it needs, so that tomorrow when I come back, that doesn't happen. Where I can still push through. So anyways, so I'd say that was the biggest challenge, but thankfully the Lord, I think just him helping me get certain things back on order, like sleep and eating, and just like finding something that I like. Get back on the right track to, I don't know, overcome that. And so I'm still in the process. I would say I've overcame overcame that. And now I'm in the process of learning to be consistent and going further.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope people get from this, like, at least the message of, like, you're valuable no matter what size you are. And there's, like, so much love that we're hoping, like, you guys have for yourselves while you're going through any kind of journey trying to just get healthy, especially as a creative. Like, if you're overweight, that's fine. Like, you're still beautiful. Like, and it's not even about beauty. There's, like, so much more than outer beauty. Like, just the way that you cared for yourself, like, taking those moments is so powerful. So
I think it's just being kind to yourself.
Being
like,
kind.
Really being kind and understanding, and, like, also learning how to be self-aware as well really does go a long way, and it really just helps you. Because, like, kind of like what you were saying earlier, like, if you don't like running, why do that?
Put yourself through that?
If you're, like, you know what I mean? If your main goal is, you want to get in shape, but you find it hard to get in the gym, or you find it hard to, like, stay consistent, choosing things that, you know, are still active, but, like, you enjoy will help that. So, like, that's one way of being kind to yourself. Why put yourself through something that you don't necessarily enjoy doing? And then also giving yourself grace, especially if you're starting back out. Like, even if you were
starting
for
the first time.
Yeah, even if you were active or were an athlete, like, it's still going to take a little bit of time to, like, you know, get back up to where you were. You might not be able to, like, jump right in. And so, like, giving yourself grace. If you know you need accountability, making sure you get that accountability. If it's easier working with people, then, you know, do that. If you're more of, like, a solo person where you're like, I just have to set a schedule for myself, you like following, like, a task or a to-do list, then get organized and do that and jump into it. So
I love that.
Anyways,
Christian, end us out with your challenge and last word of advice for people.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be pretty short.
It's gonna be pretty short.
Well, you kind of
heard your challenge.
So mine was pretty much what I already kind of told you guys about, was me, you know, having to lose, you know, like 20 pounds, stuff like that. So it's that was probably like the first time I've ever really had to do that.
Yeah.
'Cause I've always been in shape. Like, I never had to lose weight. I've always been where I was supposed to be.
Yeah.
So for me though, when it came to doing that, it wasn't even the exercise and the working out, going and doing the boot camp and, like, whatever the lady, like, had us doing. That wasn't even the issue. For me, it was really the eating. Like, that was my biggest struggle, was, like, the eating part of it, because I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I could do the workout part, piece of cake, easy. Like, I know how to push myself there. It's just making sure I'm staying on top of the eating part was, like, that was dreadful. Like,
yeah.
Oh man, I hated it, because it's just certain things that, like, I just knew, like, I had to cut out, right? Like, I just couldn't eat no more. And, like, I just had to, like, really be focused and determined, like, and staying on myself as far as making sure that I'm not drifting off. Because, again, I mean, I only got 6 weeks. So, like, I don't have any room for error, for mess ups. Like, you know, like, yeah, it's nice, you know, like, giving yourself, you know, grace and stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, I messed up one time. I was like, well, that one time could stop me from getting 20 pounds, like,
totally
type of things. Like me having that in the back of my mind throughout the whole time is more like, now I'm weighing options, like, is it worth it? And then a lot of times, like, you know, I can talk myself out of it. Yep. And that's pretty much kind of what I do with a lot of things. I'll just ask myself first, like, do I really need this, or just something I just want?
Yeah.
And then, like, if it's not really a need, if it's just more of a want, then I'm weighing the options, like, okay, well, how important is it?
Yeah.
Like, if it's not really that important, I'm like, all right, well, I don't even need it. Like, things like that. So that's when it came to, like, the whole eating part of it. Also, was more so like a lot of things was real simple to cut out, because you just know you shouldn't have it. So, like, that was easy. Those type of things was easy. But, like, other stuff, like, maybe, say, if I want to, like, let's say like lemonade or something like that. Like, a lot of that is full of sugar.
Yeah.
To begin with.
If you're making it right.
Yeah. Good lemonade has a good sugar amount.
I mean, if you're making it right, of course.
Yeah. Right. So then it's more like, well, now I gotta cut that out. But, like, you don't want to just drink water, so now you just trying to figure out, like, what else can you drink, right?
Yeah.
And then now you're trying to think of other alternatives and things like that. So, but then a lot of the other alternatives are nasty. So then you're like, God dang.
Yeah.
So then now you got to really get creative when it comes to stuff like that and figure out things that you can now try that you probably never had before. And that did help, like in that aspect of, allow me to try things and experience other different types of foods and stuff like that like normally I wouldn't touch. Like I would never eat. Like a Brussels sprout, you're not gonna get me to eat that.
Why does everyone hate on Brussels sprouts?
I didn't like them as a kid.
I love a good Brussels sprout.
Even like to this day, I mean it depends on how someone makes it. Cause I will say there's been one time where I was in Texas and he was like an actual like chef and he like travels to people. So he came, it was like one of my friend's birthday or whatever. So he came there and like that was one of the things that he made for all of us. And in my head I was like, I mean, I ain't gonna like it, but since I'm here, like I'm gonna try everything that you make. I'm gonna just try it.
Okay.
But I actually like ate all of it. I was like, I am surprised. I was like, what are these called? Like this is a Brussels sprout? Like they do not taste like this, like normally. So, I know they normally don't taste like this. I was like, yeah. So at that point, he convinced me that like I probably wouldn't mind eating anything as long as if it's cooked right.
Yeah.
If
it's cooked well.
Right.
Yeah. Not everyone can cook it well.
That is true. And that's the hard part right there. But then out of nowhere, I mean, like, I don't know, broccoli. Never hated that also. And then for some reason, like within the past like year or two, or I'll say 2 years, 2 years or so, like I love it now. Like I have no idea why. But
I make good broccoli, by the way.
See, mine don't even gotta be anything like just steamed. Like you can just steam it. Like I don't.
That's good.
Right, and that's what I was like. I bet because I could just take a little bag of broccoli and just pop in the microwave and like I'll be fine with that. But
that's it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like I'll be just fine. You don't gotta do anything special to it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, so that was my biggest struggle though. Was just more so the eating and figuring out different other options because I was always like a fast food person, like a eat out person. Because one, like I don't like to cook.
Yeah,
I don't like to cook at all. So luckily during that time, like I was also like in a relationship when I had that going on. So then she was like doing a lot more of the cooking and that part of it, and I think like that helped. That saved me a lot.
Amen.
That saved a lot right there. And yeah, so I mean that's pretty much what it was for me. Was more so just like staying on top of the eating when it came to that challenge. Because if I could do all the workouts I wanted to, but like if I didn't
eat well,
handle that, like
matter.
I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it at all.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's good. End us out, Christian, with one final piece of advice for people listening in. Like, let's say they're really struggling right now. Someone's struggling with this. They feel like they don't know where to start. Like, what's your piece of advice to them?
Well, I would say for anybody who's in a position where they're trying to tackle their fitness, like their health, and want to improve it and things like that. One, you got to be real with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself and real understand and know, like, if you can't do it, on your own, like you got to go find someone else who can help.
That's good.
And don't be afraid to ask for help either. So a lot of people would, and I see this a lot more with guys than I do with women, but they're like, oh no, like, I could do it myself. Like I get myself in shape and, things like that. And like, I don't need no trainer. I don't need nobody to help me out. But in the long run, like if you didn't need someone else, like you would be where you want to be by now.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why you're not there.
Yeah.
At this point. So if you like, at that point, you're your own worst enemy. Like you're the one holding yourself back. at that point. So definitely, I mean, just just looking yourself in the mirror and like really just not lying to yourself. Some people would really look at themselves and just not see any issues or anything like that, and be pretty fine. And just be like, well, I understand this whole body positivity movement and things like that, but like at the same time, like it's your overall health on the inside and stuff doesn't care about that. Like that doesn't care about somebody's feelings and things like that. It's like, well, I'm still like, my heart's still beating a lot more than what it should be. Like I'm my lungs or my intestines or liver and things like that is still like overpacked with like a lot of like fat that's like surrounding it and things like that. So like all my organs and things have to work harder in order for me to just wake up.
Yeah.
That's right. Crazy. So like in that, just that alone, like in that aspect should be a good enough reason for somebody to want to take control of their life and like just get themselves like back in some type of shape, just be able to get back. Because especially like, I mean, a lot of times if you need to find a why, like that would be like the biggest thing. Also, it would be like you have to really find a strong why.
Yeah.
A lot of people will make their why as far as like the summer, right? They were like, oh, I just want to look good for the summer or something like that. Like that's not a strong enough why.
No.
That's not going to keep anybody.
That's not working for me anymore. It used to be my why. It doesn't work anymore.
That's not going to keep anybody like continuing to go.
Yeah.
Because then even if like that time comes where before even summer comes, there's going to be days where you're not going to feel like going to the gym. There's going to be days where you're not going to feel like eating right. But you can always go back to your why. Like, why am I doing this in the first place? And if it's not strong enough, you're gonna eat it, or you're not gonna go to the gym. You're gonna stay at home.
Yeah.
So
that's real.
A lot of times I would say, if you have a family, like if you have kids, if you have like a husband or a wife or something like that, that some other people who are depending on you.
Yeah, that's
also
real.
Then like. That's your why right there. Like, because they need you. So like,
that's good.
In order for you to, in order for them to be able to still do things that they need to do in their life, like they count on you. But if you're not here, like then how can that happen, right? Like, so you have to, and again, that's again more so for the more extreme folks, things like that. That's not the every average, like,
I think that's
just
good
like somebody's
for even
trying to get in shape. Or like
I think that's
just a little
good
bit,
for still someone. I mean, that's making me think about like how my why could change.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that too. So, I would say, I mean, one, that you just need to somehow sum up and figure out a strong enough why that's something that's going to continuously keep you going would be like my first overall goal. And then don't focus on the scale. Also, the scale can be like your worst enemy. Yeah, that's one thing you don't want to continuously keep looking at every day, every week, something like that. The scale can be very deceptive.
Absolutely.
And it will make you think one thing, and then you will be like, oh, well, I didn't even lose anything. Like, I've been doing this for so long, and like the scale still says the same thing. And now you're discouraged. Now you're unmotivated. Now you don't even want to do anything no more. You want to just be like, well, forget it. Like, why am I still doing this?
Yeah.
If it's not even working, like, and stuff like that, well, you have to, and that's where like my whole business is, resolution fitness, shifting minds, changing bodies, impacting lives. So the whole first part is the shifting of the mind. So like you have to understand like and shift the way that you look at a scale, things like that. Like you got to shift the way you look at working out, the way that you look at foods, things like that. So when it comes to that number on that scale, it's not just talking about weight. I mean, it's talking about overall weight, but there's fat and there's muscle. Yeah, right?
Muscle is definitely heavier. So,
okay. So
wait, tell us more.
That's a
well, it depends on how fat you are, right? But
no, that's a very like. I don't even know where that even came from. Like why people think that.
Really?
Like, that's definitely not true. Because so like, if I asked you,
okay,
what weighs more? Like a
5 pounds
what
of fat
weighs more,
or
a 5-pound bag of feathers versus a 5-pound bowling ball? Which weighs more?
The bowling ball.
Why?
Wait, a 5-pound bowling? They're the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So 5 pounds of fat versus 5 pounds of muscle, they both weigh the same.
I guess conceptually, but if you're getting more muscular, you're not going to stay the same weight. Does that make sense? That's what I'm trying to say.
No. So what's going to happen is you can still stay the exact same weight. Your overall physique, like the way you look, is going to look different.
Yeah, so
That's
you could be
gonna look
getting in
different.
shape and like you're not seeing pounds shaved off. Does that make sense?
Right. Like
that's
so
how I
somebody
see it.
who's like mostly all fat and he's like 180 versus somebody who's like all muscle and is 180.
Right. That's what I'm trying to say.
Same, like still both men. They're the way you look at them are going to look completely different. Yeah.
Totally.
But they both still weigh 180.
Exactly. That's the point
what
that I'm
saying.
getting at.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like it's still the same.
Where did that come from? We should
Like that
I
muscle
think it
weighs
comes
more
from
than
the
fat.
concept that I was just trying to convey, but like people just say it wrong. Like it is said wrong.
Fat it takes up a larger area.
Yeah.
Like fat takes up a lot more space in order to equal the same amount of weight.
So I think people think like because fat takes up more space, oftentimes they think like muscle is heavier because like, if this is smaller than this microphone and this is the same amount of pounds, you're just thinking this weighs more.
Right.
But they technically weigh the same.
Exactly.
It just takes up less space.
Just visually, I mean, if you had a 5-pound bag of feathers.
Yeah, we just say it wrong.
That would be a lot of feathers.
Yeah.
To equal 5 pounds, like that would have to be a lot of feathers.
Yeah, like this room, I feel like would have to be filled with feathers.
Versus the bowling ball is just like right here.
Yeah, no, that's a good way, good concept to think about because we say that wrong all the time. But
for sure. So that's pretty much like that. I said.
That's
last
good.
thing I'll leave you with is like definitely more importantly like the why, and don't focus too much on that skill, things like that. And I mean just try to have fun. With whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, this was good. This was thorough. I love it.
Yeah.
Next podcast, we're going to get in the gym. So make sure you tune in. And Christian's, all his links and everything in the description or the show notes. So make sure you follow him. Yeah. Any last words? I was going to put a microphone. We already have a microphone. Yeah. No, I think we have exhausted the topic. It's good. Yeah.
I think this is a very, very great topic. So if you're looking to, I don't know, I guess get in the gym or just find your motivation or find your why or whatever it is you're looking for, this is the episode for you.
This is the episode for you. Share it with your friends. All right, we'll see you later. Everybody in a body is a creative.
Yes.